Good morning, traders. What's going on? Happy Friday. Who's ready? Who's ready to make some money? I am. I told you guys yesterday that by the end of the week, I kind of start to get tired, like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out. Today, I changed my schedule to work out at noon after this. So I got some sleep. Feeling good. All right, double checking news. I know after looking yesterday, there was lots of stuff. It's all at 10 o'clock Eastern. So about 30 minutes after the open, we have a bunch of different core PCE data releases, consumer sentiment, Michigan sentiment. So just kind of watching or like setting myself up for what the market might bring this morning. It might be choppy until that 10 o'clock release, and then something crazy might happen. Who knows? So I did catch this drop this morning. It was right in line with the game plan that I drew up last night. So this is what I shared in my premium Discord last night. Just said that yesterday we were kind of in this same range that I've been watching for 3 days now, from 25,730-ish, 740 down to like 25,530-ish. Those gray shaded boxes was kind of the range I was watching for. So I said until that range breaks, I'll just be playing the extremes. I'll short the top, long the bottom, with confirmation, obviously. But it rejected that and then didn't really hold that level and started to drop below. So that's when I took that short. You can see this level here at like 25,714. It was holding for hours. And then it finally dropped below and retested that level. That's when I entered short. So it was a really good risk to reward because I didn't have to put my stop loss. I basically moved it to break even minutes after entering the trade. And then I just wrote it down to 608 was my target because that was the low from the Asia session. So that was my trade this morning. Looks like Man Smooth caught a trade this morning too. So we got a good bounce off of, there was some confluence for that level. 608, like I said, was the low of the overnight session. This light blue VWAP is yesterday's New York anchored VWAP. I like to leave that on for at least until the open, the next New York open, just to kind of see, like, are we above it or below it? Are we above yesterday's average or below yesterday's average? It kind of just gives another reason of should I be looking for longs or shorts. And a lot of times we'll at least get one bounce or rejection off of it. So having that be the overnight low of 25,608 plus a bounce off of yesterday's anchored VWAP, that was a good reason to take profit there. And then we're coming back up to VWAP at least. We'll see if we reject there at the open and continue down, or if we go up. Or like I said, we could just chop until that news coming out in about 40 minutes. ES is coming up to VWAP right now. I feel like we haven't done a duck race in a while, you guys. If we get to 100 likes, I do have another account to give away. Let's go. Feeling good today. So just to kind of let you guys know my thoughts going into the open, since I did catch that good trade this morning And with a whole bunch of news coming out 30 minutes after the open, I'm probably going to stay patient. Well, I'm going to be patient anyway, but might not even take a trade until after news. While we're waiting for market to open in about 6 minutes, what you guys got going on this weekend? It's December 5th already, so hopefully you guys all already have your Christmas decorations up, right? I'm curious, chat, are you guys the late kind of people who put it up last minute? Like you still haven't put your decorations up and maybe you should do that this weekend? Or are you the type that are like, as soon as Thanksgiving's over, I put it up? Like the Friday after Thanksgiving, that's decoration day. Or there's some people, I'm sure they're even crazier and they're like, after Halloween, it's all Christmas. G-Man does it after Thanksgiving. Yep. That's the way I am too. I just feel like timing-wise, that's a good weekend to do it. I don't really decorate for Halloween because I'm not a big fan of all the like spooky, scary skulls and like bloody stuff. I do more like fall, just pumpkins and orange stuff everywhere. So after Thanksgiving, I take all that down. The Friday after, bring out the tree. We have not put our outside stuff up yet because it's kind of been rainy and stuff since then. Haven't had a good chance to put our lights up. We don't really put lights up on the house. We put them in like the lawn. We have a lot of lawn decorations. It's a lot of work to put them on the house. Good morning from Costa Rica. We have a couple Costa Rica people in the chat. Zach, you're from Costa Rica too, right? I think I've seen another person before too. Zach's going to the beach today. Oh, I'm guessing, if I remember right, that you're in Costa Rica. It's probably still warm there. They don't really, from what I remember looking up, you don't really get like winter in Costa Rica. It's always 80 degrees. You get the rain, but always gonna be warm. So always a good day to go to the beach. Zach, how far are you from the beach? 4 minutes away. Jealous. Yeah. I think if I lived 4 minutes away from the beach, I'd probably do my live streams from the beach. I would figure out a way to get some like super heavy duty hotspot and just trade from the beach. That'd be amazing. All right, we got market open in a little less than a minute. Let's get it. Sitting right at VWAP right now. Like I said, I'm not going to be super eager to like jump into a trade right at the open. Gonna be patient, see what it brings us. But since we had that big drop and we're under VWAP, I could see us continuing back down to like 560, 550. But we're also bullish. I mean, this is a higher low. So we could definitely continue up, especially if we get bullish news. I mean, today could be the day that we head up to like 26K. All right. Market is opening up. Woohoo! So much for my thoughts of maybe having a choppy open. Goodness. All right, so this anchored VWAP, this red line is from this morning's high. It was also sitting right at the session VWAP. So we broke through that, obviously, with momentum. That would have been a good long opportunity, just, you know, being right at 930. That's not my kind of thing. I kind of feel like, for me at least, it's gambling. Like, obviously there can be a good strategy behind it. I'm not saying if you did it, it's gambling. But for me, when I take a trade a minute into the open, I just feel like it's a 50-50 chance because it's so volatile. I don't like it. So I just have to sit back and be okay with the fact that I missed that trade. But that's okay. I'm good with it. All right, NQ has broken the London high. ES is kind of hovering right there. So could be a possible liquidity sweep opportunity if this thing turns around. But also don't want to be trying to guess the top because I do think this could go higher. Oh, Zach, I guess we're planning a party at your house. We're all gonna have a FMT meetup at Zach's in Costa Rica. Let's go. I'm down with that. That'd be fun. We are starting to get a little bit of a wick on the top of this candle. But gonna be patient, see how this 5-minute candle closes and wait for some obvious sellers if I'm going to take a liquidity sweep short. So far, it's not giving me what I want. Kind of looks like it wants to just go to the moon. All right, chat. Who hit the buy button right at 9:30 and got in along? I know there's somebody in here that did. That would have been a sweet trade. Don't you just love those days where you take like one trade and you're done? You hit your profit target in like 15 minutes, especially on a Friday. Then you can just go hang out and enjoy the rest of your day and basically take a 3-day weekend. Those are the best trading days. I love it when that happens. Holy cow, look at that 5-minute candle. All right, we got a couple people in the chat that got in it. Let's go. So this 5-minute candle has a nice little wick and it closed right at the previous high. Let's see if sellers show up. Nope. Buyers are too strong right now. Hey YouTube chat, is the stream lagging or delaying at all today? All right, taking a stab at a short, just gonna try to go back down to VWAP or opening range low. Not gonna give it that much room. It needs to continue down if this is gonna work. And I'm okay with the risk if I'm wrong, because the risk to reward is good if it works out. But no, it's not. That's the idea if it doesn't stop me out, which it looks like it might. Yep. All right, cool. So the stream is doing better today. I figured it out though. So someone was talking about how I need to connect to Ethernet because I'm using Wi-Fi. And I always thought it was weird because I have connected my Ethernet cable before and my internet was actually worse. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but I never really looked into it. So since someone in the chat yesterday commented on it, I did some research and I figured out that my adapter has a max speed, processing speed. I don't know what the CPU or whatever the units are, but it capped it at 100 and my internet speed is like 250 MPS. Is that the units? So when I do Wi-Fi, my internet speed test is like twice as good as when I connect to the cable. And I figured it out. So I bought a new adapter. should be good to go. It's gonna arrive today. So Monday stream should be golden. ChatGTP has been my best friend with all this technology stuff. That's definitely been a learning curve, like figuring out how to do all this streaming and like a microphone. I have another trading friend that live streams, and I'm always asking him questions because he has in his previous life, he was a DJ. So he knows all that stuff about microphones and soundboards and hotkeys, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a laptop and one screen. It's been fun to learn though. Gonna try it again. Come on. All right, I'm at least putting a stop loss in. I'm gonna see how it reacts at this opening range low. If it gets that far, it could just bounce up and hit my stop loss. But if it stays heavy, there's lots of room to come lower potentially. Or it could just bounce up and hit my stop loss too. Buck, thank you. I appreciate you using my code. Thanks for the support. Which indicators do you use to draw your levels, like point of control, Asia low, etc.? There's a couple of them. Some of them can be done by hand. I do have videos on all of it. I actually have one. It's called, you know what? I don't remember the name of it, but it's like weekly trading plan or something like that, and it walks through everything that I do on Sunday night before the market opens and every single level that I mark and the indicators that I use and everything. If you want something that you can kind of watch on your own time. But for the session, Asia high and low, you can do that just by eyeballing it. I cheat and I use this one called Trading Sessions right here. And it basically just highlights, like this yellow box is London, this blue box is Asia, and I just mark off, like I take a line to mark off Asia high and Asia low. And then for the point of control, I use the SVP, Session Volume Profile. So yeah, there's a couple. It did hit the opening range low. Probably would have been a good spot to take profits, honestly. Just with how heavy it got, I was thinking it might go lower. This is our new 15-minute low because 15 minutes is not up yet. It's kind of hovering at VWAP right now. If we get a closure below VWAP, then I would start targeting like London low, Asia low, come a little bit lower to 577, 560, somewhere in that range. But it needs to break this 680 level first. We do have that news in 15 minutes though, so might not get whatever the larger move is going to be. We might not get that until then. All right, coming for my stop. Oh my gosh, seriously? There it is. News in 15. Lots of stuff coming out in 15 minutes. There were like 6 different things. All right, here is our New York anchored VWAP on both of these. Kind of started getting choppy over the last couple minutes. Just hovering in the middle of the range. Yeah, Verisat, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So here's the chop that I was kind of expecting before news. That's what I said before the market opened. It's like, we're probably just going to chop until 10 o'clock news. No, we had a crazy little pump first and then chop. Why is it that when I do like 3 or 4 contracts on MNQ and I set my stop loss to like $40 to $50, but my money doesn't add up like your break even moving. I'm not sure what you mean. If someone else in the chat knows what Smooth is asking, let me know. Not sure what your question is. Yeah, G-Man, can you make your 9:30 meetings for like 9 a.m.? That'd be perfect. Because from what I remember, you said they're like a quick little 15-minute team huddle. That'd be perfect. 9 to 9:15, and then you're back in time for the market open. So, Mansmooth, are you just setting your stop loss just because you only want to risk $40? Or are you setting it based on a specific level that you're watching? That's what I would recommend. So, set your stop loss based on price action and a specific recent high or a recent low or some sort of level that you feel like invalidates your trade. That's where your stop loss should be. And then adjust your position sizing to go with your risk. So if your stop loss is bigger, you should take fewer contracts to keep your risk consistent. So if you're using TradingView, I use this risk to reward tool that you always see me drawing up right here. So like, for example, if I was in this short and that is where my stop loss is, it tells me right here, quantity 2.6 contracts if I want to risk $200. That's what I have it set for in my settings. So for you, if you want to risk $50, it'll tell you what you should be risking or how many contracts you should take. But yeah, I mean, for me, at least with my trading strategy, I would imagine I would get stopped out a lot if I just randomly placed a stop loss wherever my dollar amount risk wanted to be action. So ES has kind of peaked out the top of the 15-minute opening range high a little bit. Kind of looking like it wants to reject. I'm not interested in a short though for several reasons. One is NQ is not at the high yet. And we have a lot of news in 8 minutes, so not good timing. And I mean, it's not showing what I would want to take a short anyway. And I also wouldn't take a long for similar reasons since we have news coming out. Where I was trying to short here, that would have been the spot to go long, honestly. Kind of a missed opportunity there. That would have already been a 100-point trade, even if I just took profit at the opening range high. But that was a good clean bounce off of VWAP. And the 15-minute opening range low was here at that time. So it kind of just grabbed that opening liquidity bounced off of VWAP and went back up. So in hindsight, that would have been the trade of the morning right there. Missed opportunity. No, G-Man, if you got long earlier, that's a great trade. I'm just saying right now, I wouldn't chase a long. Like, I wouldn't want to enter a long now with news in 6 minutes. But there's definitely upside. I mean, 26K, 2638-ish is the next level that I have. So assuming the news that comes out is good and it doesn't crash the market, you're in a good trade. Keep holding that thing. If I was in a long right now, I'd probably set my stop loss at break even or slightly in profit and then ride out the news. That's what I would do. Because if it is bullish news, there's lots of upside. All right, guys. While we're waiting the 5 minutes for the news to come out, let's get those likes up. We got 91 people watching, 39 likes. What's up with that? Help me out. Show some love. I talked about the new TradeDay accounts that they just released, 2 days ago on Wednesday this week? The select plan, where once you pass the eval, you get to choose your funded route, which is really kind of a cool idea. So you can choose daily payouts, or you can choose a route that's 5 days to pay out, but with a higher payout cap. So they have the flex or the daily. I bought some of those on Wednesday when they released it and passed them last night with some gold trades. So at the end of day today, should be able to move those over to funded, activate them, whatever they call it. Start next week with it. By the way, if you guys want to take advantage of that 40% off launch sale that they have with it, today's the last day. So let me know if you have questions on how those plans work, but they're pretty cool in my opinion. The daily payout route technically could get your first payout in 4 days. So from what I've seen, it's like the fastest route to payout option there is. Now that's obviously trading perfectly. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you could pass the eval in 3 days, as fast as 3 days, and then get activated by the end of day. And then the next day, assuming you trade to the buffer, you can take a payout that day. So 40% off right now. Code Krista, you know what's up. All right, we're sitting outside the top of the 15-minute opening range high right now. Broke out and retested a little bit. So normally, I mean, that's a great 15-minute orb trade right there. Breakout, retest. If you want to give it a shot, go for it. I personally am not. I don't like taking trades right before news. I feel like it's a gamble. Do they rebill at the 40% off? Yes. As long as you don't cancel that account or like cancel your subscription, it'll rebill at the same 40% rate. Teachermas, I was talking about Tradeify, the new accounts that they just released. It's called the Select Plan. Yeah, I know Lucid and Tradeify both released new accounts within the last week or so. Lucid was last week, I think. But yeah, Lucid released their Flex plan. And then Tradeify released the Select plan, but you have two different options for funding. One of them is called Flex. So they called it Flex or Daily are the two funded options. Not that that's confusing. So when we talk about the Flex plan, you got to be like, which one? You're talking about the Tradeify Select Flex or the Lucid Flex? Have I ever tried using trend lines? I don't normally. There's the news. Let's go. All right, let's let this settle a little bit and see what we get. I don't want to jump into anything and be too crazy with it. Let's let it settle. Dennis, you have Lucid, you passed the account. Do you have to wait till the end of day? No, you don't. So with Tradeify, you do have to wait until the end of day to activate your funded account. With Lucid, you don't. They say up to 30 minutes, the dashboard will let you activate it. They'll update it. I have had it happen within like 3 minutes. So after you pass your Lucid eval, wait a couple minutes, go to the dashboard, and you should see a little green button that says upgrade. And you can trade your funded account the day that you pass. So go to your dashboard and check that out. It's pretty cool. All right. Looks like maybe the market's kind of processing the news a little bit still. Hasn't moved a whole lot. Let's see if we pull back a little bit. If not, if it holds this level, might just be able to long from here and ride it up. It's interesting that it's kind of slow to react, it feels like. Run the race. Is there a consistency rule on the daily option? No, there's not. So you just have to reach a buffer. It's holding that opening range high. I'm gonna hop in long. So I don't know the numbers for the other size accounts because I always trade 50K. But for the 50K account, once you pass the eval and you get to the funded, if you're doing the daily payout option, you have to trade to a buffer of 2,100. So you have to get your balance to $52,100. And then once you get there, you can start taking daily payouts. So like if you make $500 that day, they say you can take up to 2x what you made that day. But you have to stay above the end of day, like the max loss limit will always be locked at 50,100. So be careful with taking out that 2x. You want to make sure to leave yourself a buffer. But once you trade to the buffer, you can take out 2x what you made that day. So let's say you made $300, you can take out $600. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm really surprised by that news. I thought it was going to be a bigger event that would cause more volatility. Looking at the numbers, it looks like everything was pretty much as forecasted. PCE, yeah, I guess consumer spending, all that stuff, at least from what I see on Financial Juice, it was as forecasted. So maybe that's why it's kind of taking a bit for the market to process it. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand what the news is. I don't know what it all means. I just watch out for what time it's coming out so I know not to be in a trade so it doesn't blast my account. So my reasoning for entering the trade, honestly, I wouldn't be able to label any specific strategy. This was kind of just a momentum trade based on the fact that it's holding above all of these levels. I have a bullish bias. It did break out and retest that 15-minute opening range high. And it was just the fact that it didn't sell off heavily with the news release. I was thinking that the uptrend was going to continue. So my thought was just to ride the momentum long, and I would have clipped it fast. Like I would have gotten out if it moved any lower. And I'm actually already going to move my stop loss to break even. Because the only reason I'm in this trade is if this is going to be a slow grind up for the rest of the day, I want to be on the train. And if it decides to come back down and actually retest some of these levels, then I'll get out, no risk, and be patient for a better drop. And I'm okay with that. Oh, you can only use Apex for the country that you're in? That's a bummer. They're not my favorite. But I guess if you learn how to like get around their rules and play by their rules, you can make it work. I just feel like if for someone who's like a beginner, maybe trying to learn how to trade still, Apex has a lot of like gotchas. So it'd be hard to get a payout. They're great if you're an advanced trader and you know how to get around the intraday drawdown and all the crazy rules that they have, 20x leverage, that's pretty stinking powerful. It's also very, very dangerous. Charlie Odom, what's up? Thanks for dropping by and giving a like. I appreciate it. Nice. Let's go, Dennis. Are you on, I don't remember if you told me, are you on the Flex plan or the Pro plan? Which one are you doing? Yeah, with Apex, you definitely have to go slow. It doesn't work with my trading style. Like, I could adjust my trading style and make it work. If you're a scalper, I could see where it would be great. But intraday trailing drawdown definitely punishes you if you're the type that likes to hold on to a good trade, which is what I do. So my plan with this is I'm going to trail my stop loss, not super aggressively. I mean, I want to give it room to have this kind of slow grind up. But I'm going to trail my stop loss more than I normally do because it has been kind of a slow grind up and I could definitely see it coming back down and retesting some of these levels. But I mean, shoot, if this thing just continues to grind up, I could hold it up to 2640. That's the next level I see. Let's look at the 4-hour chart and look left and see what we got. Yeah, this general region right here is kind of what I'm looking at, 2640 to 2680. Are we getting our December Santa rally? Are we going to hit new all-time highs in December, you guys? What do you think? We still haven't even had our initial balance set yet. We still got 20 minutes left for that. Let's see if we can ride this thing all the way up. Holy cow. I'm only in 4 contracts, but the power of NQ, I'm not saying that it's going to. I don't want you guys to think that I'm crazy. But if this thing goes all the way up to 26K, that's a 230 point trade. Jeez. Don't need to have that much size to make money. I'm talking to myself here and just letting you guys listen. It's a good reminder to myself too. Where are your profit targets for this trade? Honestly, 26, 40. That's what I'm going for. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to trail my stop loss though. Because if it does decide to pull back, I can always re-enter. I guess I can get rid of this London high level. And it doesn't look like it wants to come back down to these levels, but I'll leave them just in case. How are we doing on likes, you guys? Where are we at? 67. Oh my gosh. Oh, does anyone here have little kids that say that all the time? I can't see the numbers 6 and 7 together without laughing anymore. I feel like an elementary school girl, like giggling every time I hear that. We really have 67 likes, you guys. Somebody's got to like, either take away your like or add a like, because it can't stay on 6, 7, or I'm just going to be giggling. If any of you guys went trick-or-treating this year, how many adults did you see dressed up as 6, 7? I saw several like couples, like husband and wife, one wearing a shirt that's a 6, one's wearing a 7. I saw several people that like had their, in Texas where we're at, you don't really ring the doorbell with trick-or-treating anymore. People have a big old table with candy set out like in their driveway, and they're having a party in their garage. So there were 2 houses that we went to that had balloons, 6 and 7 balloons. So that was like the costume this year. Either 6, 7 costume or Rumi or some sort of like K-pop demon hunter. Those were the main costumes I saw this year. All right. We have 71 likes now. Now I don't have to sit here giggling about it. I don't even know what it means. I've had to look it up on Urban Dictionary, and I still don't even understand it. That's funny, Chichmas. It's still funny with my kids because they don't do it all that, like they don't just randomly say 6, 7 and be annoying about it. It's just like if it happens to come up and then, everyone in the family starts laughing about it, it's fun. It's a slow grind up kind of day. All right. Are we getting a pullback here? So I'm on the 1 hour chart, just kind of looking left since NQ likes to grab liquidity and drop. We already broke above this recent high at 829 and we're continuing higher. We do have one at 877, so we can watch out for that. I'll draw a little line here so we can watch and see if there's some sort of reaction there. Or it could just come down and hit my stop loss, which it looks like it is. Yep. All right. I'm okay with that. I don't really love the whole slow grind up kind of trades anyway, and I definitely felt like I chased it and didn't have a great entry. So I would rather lock in something and then wait for a better entry. So we still have the initial balance will be set in 10 minutes so we can see if we get some sort of opportunity there. Do I ever use stats for setting my targets or key levels? No. For my key levels, I don't use stats. Targets, sometimes, like if I'm taking an initial balance breakout trade, like it retests and breaks out, I do use standard deviations from the initial balance. And if that is in line with some sort of other key level that I have, I definitely look at that as confluence. But I don't look into stats like Edgeful, for example. I know G-Man uses Edgeful and a couple other people do. But if you're into stats like that, check out Edgeful. It's not cheap, but they have cool stuff like that. Like, I mean, you can pull up a report that says, like, if the initial balance is in this range, like this number of points, and then it's 72% more likely to break outside of the bottom and 32% likely to break out of the top or whatever. Like those kind of stats, they are available. I don't know of any other programs besides Edgeful. There might be others. But no, I don't use that kind of stuff. Is that going to be the kind of pullback that we get today? Is that it? I've noticed that those are the kind of days that I really suck at trading, when it's just like a slow grind up day. Because I'm like right now I'm staying patient for this level. The New York anchored VWAP and the 15-minute opening range high are in the same spot. So I like that, good confluence. But I mean, we haven't really seen much of a pullback. So might just not catch any more trades today, and that's okay. I was looking at the likes on this stream and just seeing the number of subscribers, you guys, wild. I never imagined this, honestly. 7.72 subscribers, K. 77,200. Jeez. Maybe I need to go back to bed. 7,720. I'm not that dumb, you guys, I promise. I'm so smart. I know numbers. I can read too, I promise. I know how to read. But yeah, I started this thing at the end of April, beginning of May. So what, a little less than 7 months now? And it was really just a chance for me to like record a video of my trade recaps, post them. I would get like 40 views. It was sad. But I didn't do it for anyone else. It was just for me to like have some accountability. And then someone else in the live streaming world was like, you should live stream. And I was like, no, that's scary. And he was like, that's the point. It'll make you really accountable because you have people watching you. So I gave it a try. I live streamed. I think I had like 5 people show up to the first one. I was so scared. But look how far it's grown. Crazy. Having fun with this thing. Yeah, DS, I'm watching that too. ES and NQ are definitely in sync today. And similar confluences too on this trade, this pullback that I'm watching for. New York anchored VWAP and 15-minute opening range high. ES looks slightly different, but this general area on both of them, if they both pull back there, good confluence for that spot. Three minutes until the initial balance is set. Here's our IB high. So this is interesting. Talking about a possible failed auction. I don't know how good I feel about shorting this moving train, but remember this line that I drew right here at 25,877? That was the 1 hour chart. That wick to the left could be a decent liquidity grab and short opportunity if that happens. But I think I would prefer it to pull back and enter a long down here. I like that trade idea better. Oh, thanks, Verisat. I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at it. I think I'm just a genuine person, and I think people like that. Like I don't do it for likes. It's just me talking to my computer, entertaining myself so that I don't take boredom trades. And I get to talk to you guys in the chat and just be myself. And I kind of just have the attitude of like, take it or leave it. Like, if you don't like my jokes, go somewhere else. If you don't like my trading, go somewhere else. But you guys deal with it. Technology issues and all. I'm figuring it out though. I got a new adapter coming today. Monday is gonna be fire. All right, it's looking like that is going to be our initial balance high. Well, we got the excitement from our data release, and then nothing has happened. Not much has happened since then. It's a Friday. Volume dies off early. That could be what we're coming up against. Aw, evac, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's my goal, is just to stay genuine. Stay transparent with you guys. Well, we're kind of consolidating. See if we break above IB high and then get a quick rejection. We could take a little scalp short. Maybe back to that New York anchored VWAP. Or if we pull back first, take a long. Those are kind of the two I'm watching for. Initial balance high, rejection, targeting down there. Or if we pull back first, bounce there, and then ride that thing up to 26K. Oops. My beautiful art, such straight squiggly lines. I use like a finger mouse tracker keypad thing. I don't know what those things are called. I don't have like the click mouse. I have the trackpad on my laptop, so drawing with my finger. Don't make fun of me. I could expand my profits by selling my father-in-law's venison jerky on this stream. I love that idea. I love it. Seriously. I don't know how much profit margin there would be, because jerky is not easy to make and you have to do it right. I don't know if you've ever made homemade jerky, but you can like do it right and it's delicious, but if you do it wrong, it's gross. So I feel like I'd have to ship it off somewhere and get it made. But I don't know what the profits are on that. That actually, like, I'm an entrepreneur. I've owned other businesses. I've always been self-employed. So just naturally, I've kind of, I wouldn't say that trading is a business for me, but, you know, I have like affiliate codes and I make a couple $100 a month with that. Like, it's nothing crazy, but my mind is just always thinking about different revenue streams. And I have tried to figure out like the whole Fit Mom Trader brand, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, how do I fit the fitness side into it? Like, maybe I could have some sort of, jerky that I sell. Like, put that up on my live stream banner. Like, go to this brand use my code for jerky or like protein powders or that kind of stuff. But then I feel like all of our live stream talking would get kind of jumbled, because then you'd come in and ask about trading questions, and then you'd also come in and ask like fitness questions. And I'd be like, hold on, I can't talk about diet plans right now. I gotta trade. Too much going on. All right, ES came up to that IB high. Kind of starting to reject a little bit, but it still looks like it's chopping and consolidating. And NQ is not at IB high yet. No trade for me yet. Yeah. Cracker Barrel, I have not implemented duck drug testing yet. Now that we're starting to get more people who sign up, we might have to start drug testing, because there's bound to be people that are like using performance enhancement drugs. We got to start watching out for that. Did I get stopped out of my long? I did. It was, so I had my stop loss right about here on this 5-minute candle pullback right here. I was stopped out, which honestly is not that big of a deal, because it's not like it ran without me. It kind of just has been consolidating since I got stopped out anyway. What is gold doing? Oh my gosh. Gold is pumping. Gold was definitely the more exciting chart to be watching, with NQ and ES doing nothing. A whole lot of nothing. G-Man, are you in a long on gold? I hope so. I hope someone's making money off of this thing. Yeah, old trader, still green. So I had one, what did I have? One loss at the open, and then 2 green trades since then. So I'm up on the day in these accounts. All right, maybe are we gonna pull back a little bit? Come on down. Right here. I'm ready for you. Dang. Gold. Verisat, you're gonna short gold at 4,300? Go for it, man. That's your move right there. Round psychological number. Get it. That's weird, old trader. Is that in TradingView or one of your prop firm accounts? Or Robinhood, or like, where is that? That's strange. So when you chart gold on your contracts, are you just using the GC1 exclamation point, like the generic gold one? Or do you chart the specific quarterly contract? Do you know what I mean? Like it just rolled over to a new contract a couple weeks ago. So which one are you trying to pull up? Starting to make its way down. Very, very slowly. If you're using a specific contract, make sure you're on the right one. Because like I said, it recently moved over to the February contract. But yeah, I don't know. You could also just try using the one I was talking about, MCG1. See if that one works. Or GC1 if you don't want to do the micros. All right, watching for a reaction down here. I'm going to stay patient with it though and not like just set a limit order right now, because it could possibly come down to here, which is another level with some support and some confluence. Previous day high, session VWAP, top of this high volume node. So it could come down to there too. Where is our point of control for the session? Yeah, I figured it was up there since we just chopped around there for the last hour, 30 minutes. It felt like an hour. It was 30 minutes. There you go, Poker Channel. I love it. Visualize that patience. We can kind of use ES for clues too, because ES looks a little different. Like the confluences for NQ, we have the 15-minute opening range high right around the anchored VWAP, like almost the same level. This one's quite a bit different. This one's actually closer to the overnight VWAP, or kind of in between the two. So we can wait for both of them to kind of get a reaction and tick along then. Keep coming, keep coming. Really? Is that where you're gonna bounce? Don't do that to me. That's not cool. Not cool at all, NASDAQ. Both ES and NQ bounced before VWAP. What's up with that, man? There's still a chance it could come lower because we do have, this is kind of, has a little bit of resistance up here with that point of control and all of that chop. So it could still come up to point of control, reject, come down to my red dot, and then blast off. Wishful thinking, huh? Don't leave without me. Come back. This, you guys, the Asia session last night moved faster than this. Like, a lot faster. Here we go, here we go. We're getting somewhere. We're getting there. If it comes down here, I would probably only put my stop loss below those wicks and not give it much room if I take a trade here, because it could still come down to this red dot too. So let's see what we get. ES is still not at either of its VWAPs, so it could still come a little bit lower. Trying a small size, 789 is where I entered. Going small because, like I said, I want to be able to get out and leave myself room to take a trade if it does come lower here. Yeah. Coming lower. And honestly, probably should have waited knowing that ES was not at VWAP yet. That was an avoidable mistake. Whoa, big dots got bigger. $730-ish. Let's see what happens if it comes down here. ES is at its anchored VWAP. We're at the session, the current session value area low. Okay. Trying it again. The ES bounced at New York anchor VWAP. NQ came down to value area low. Volume definitely increased in that area, so there's interest. It's just a matter of if we're going to get continuation. Nope. Okay. Back to break even on these accounts with those 2 tiny losses. Wow. Came down to the bottom of this support level that I have, and ES is now at VWAP and opening range high. That might have been the better spot to wait for. Gonna take one more stab at it. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna call it a day. Man Smooth, good job. Way to go. I just read your comment. Yeah, I like that risk to reward tool. It helps you stay consistent with your amount that you're risking per trade and be able to put in a better stop loss, in my opinion, based on price action and not based on dollars that you're going to lose. All right, let's see if this comes back up to IB high. See if we get some continuation. Are we gonna hold here? I like that initial reaction off the level. And the fact that it's holding above VWAP, ES is above VWAP, like it's a good spot. It just stalled. And that's the part I don't like. It always makes it easier to trade these when there's a good like continuation. So zooming into the 1 minute chart, you can see that there is a decent amount of interest off that level. Volume did increase, but then it stopped. We got about 1 minute left until this 5 minute candle closes. I would love to see that momentum pick up, make me feel a little bit better about it. Still hovering, trying to figure out what it wants to do. The 15-second chart, oh my goodness. I feel like that would give me an anxiety attack. Not looking great. Kind of showing some weakness around that VWAP level. And ES is below the New York anchored VWAP, and it keeps rejecting. It's not breaking above it. I don't know. Now's the time to bounce if you're going to make it happen. Let's go. We passed 67 likes. Yes, we did. We sure did. Gold is dumping now? What in the world? What the heck? And it didn't even get up to that 4,300 target. Tricky, tricky. That's actually one reason that I had to stop using Bookmap, is because I was so focused on where they said that the orders were, and I would just hold my target until I reached those Bookmap orders, and it messed me up. I was like, no, Bookmap says that there's people that are gonna buy up there or sell up there, which I know is not how you're supposed to use Bookmap. Like, I'm well aware of that, but that's what my brain thought of. So I had to stop using it. All right, gang. This is slow. That weekend volume is here early. This is ugly. All right, Teacher Miss, have a good weekend. Maverick, good morning. What's up? Old Trader, a small red day, I think, are the hardest days to like force yourself to take. So in my, like, to flip the switch in my brain, I've kind of trained myself to think that like those are the best days. Because if you can accept that, okay, I'm not reading the market very well today, I'm okay with taking my $200 loss or whatever is like a small number for you, and then just be okay with that, wash your hands, walk away, mentally be okay with it, and come back the next day. That is amazing versus going into that mode where you're like, I can make it back, I'm gonna double up, I'm gonna blow my account, because you know that's what happens. So those, in my opinion, those are the hardest days. So good for you. Walk away proud. Zach, I don't know. I mean, we're definitely getting into territories where it's below any level I would be interested in taking a long off of. This is initial balance low right here. So it could come down to IB low and bounce. Yeah, I'll probably set some alerts and watch and see what happens. If it doesn't bounce at IB low, I mean, all of these levels down here really haven't been touched in the New York session, the overnight levels, Asia low and London low. So if we don't get a strong reaction off of Asia low and London low, then I would see it coming down to this like 540-ish level, 540, 550. So I'm not interested in taking a long here at all. But getting down into this territory, just got to be careful. Trying to catch a falling knife, wait for confirmation and be patient. So with that, to answer your question, Zach, I probably won't take any more trades. Just knowing that I have not been super patient today. And I'll be walking away with a small red. I'm down $230. And I'm okay with that. In this account. The other one that I showed you guys, the pre-market short that I took, I locked those up. So I'm up in those accounts. Plus Friday, slow grind volume. It's kind of seeming like there won't be any momentum to actually continue with the trades. I don't know. I don't like trading when it's kind of a slow grind like this. Do I think it's better to copy trade evals or pass them one by one? I think that depends on you and your confidence in your trading. Like if you feel like you can confidently pass an eval, then heck yeah, copy trade them, do them all at once. But if you're kind of still in the stage of like, I need to practice and I paid this $80 for an account and I'm going to take a month to pass it and like take it slow. If that's kind of where you feel like you're at more in the beginner stage and you're not sure if you can pass it, then I would do it one at a time for sure. I don't think copy trading is appropriate until you've gotten several payouts under your belt. You're confident in your stats. You know what your win rate is. You know what your strategy is. You know what your edge is. And you can like take those consistent payouts. Because if you're blowing evals and copy trading, that's a recipe for disaster. You can throw a lot of money out the window. Do accounts expire if you don't pass the eval? How long do you have? Good question. So most prop firms have a monthly subscription fee where if you have not passed it in a month, you're going to be charged again. And if you are negative, like if you're in drawdown with that account, they'll reset your account to like put you back at 0 so you can start fresh. If you're up, I'm pretty sure they'll keep your up balance, but they'll still rebill you a monthly subscription fee, except for Lucid. Lucid Trading does not charge a monthly subscription fee. I'm not aware of any others that don't charge a monthly fee, but that's why I like Lucid for a lot of reasons. But especially if you're a beginner and you feel like you're going to take more than a month possibly to pass an eval, I would recommend using Lucid. Because then you don't have to feel rushed. Because they're not going to charge you. Gold is still dropping? Dang. What Verisat said in the chat is a really good strategy. If you're a beginner and like trying to figure out how many accounts you should get and should I copy trade and all that, get your first payout and then reinvest that money if you're wanting to have multiple accounts. I don't think you need to have multiple accounts. It kind of depends on what your goals are. But if you're new, I wouldn't recommend just going straight into it and be like, I'm going to trade 5 accounts. I got this. And start doing the math of like, I can get $2,000 per account times 5. I'm going to get $10,000 this month. Like if you start doing that and you're not proving that you're consistent yet, that can cause full-blown tilt. Watch out for that. So get one payout. Use that money to maybe buy one more account, get another payout, buy another account or two. Just kind of take it slow. Coming back up to VWAP and that previous day high. Interesting spot here. I can make an argument for longs and shorts. I'm not going to take a trade anyway, but shorts, it's rejecting previous day high, top of my high volume node. Also VWAP, below point of control. Like there's lots of reasons that could be a short. Long is a less likely argument, but it did bounce at that value area low for the current session. Don't diddle in the middle. You wouldn't short above previous day high? No, I wouldn't short above previous day high either. I was making the argument that NQ is below previous day high. I didn't take the trade, I was just talking through it. I do realize that ES is above previous day high though. I was kind of making the argument more so that I can make an argument for longs and shorts, which is why I'm not placing a trade. Interesting spot right here. In terms of the levels of where it's at, kind of looks like shorts would be the way to go. But just the price action this morning of the like slow grind up kind of feel. I don't like the idea of taking shorts. Kind of looks like that's the way to go, though. That was clean. All the confluences lined up. ES was rejecting both of the VWAPs. It's at the top of my high volume node. NQ, like I said, point of control, VWAP, lots of reasons for it to reject there. Just a matter of what's the target. Is it going to bounce at IB low, or is it going to continue down and grab some of these overnight levels? Waffles is in the chat. All right, you guys, don't leave. I'm getting the giveaway form ready. All right, there you go. Links in the chat. Duck race coming. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. We'll go to like, I don't know, 10:35. 4 minutes. Giveaway form in the chat. And we'll do a duck race. Finish Friday with a duck race. Let's go. I'll put it right here. There you go. All right, we're at IB low. Let's see, are we gonna bounce there? I don't know. That is right at yesterday's New York anchored VWAP. I'm kinda getting vibes though that it's gonna come lower. But don't trade on vibes. Trade on, I don't know, confirmation, confluence, all those C words. What else can you come up with? Trade with your magic 8-ball. There you go. That's how you win. That's how you do it. That's what I was doing wrong today. I didn't have my magic 8-ball turned on. Dang it. Pretty good bounce at IB low right there. Good little liquidity grab. It's just a matter of, are we going to continue back up to the moon? Or is there more downside? Looking heavy. All right, one more minute, you guys. Go fill out that Google form, enter your name, and we'll do a duck race here in a bit. All right, pulling up these names. Let me sort them real quick, make sure we don't have any duplicates. We'll get this show on the road. Got him. Pulling up the duck race. The moment you guys have been waiting for. On your mark, get set, let's go. 50K trade day count. Daily payouts, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, go do it. Oh, man, smooth. You might be coming out too early. Versat with his little strawberry hat, so cute. Oh my goodness. My favorite part of these duck races is all the little costumes. We got a pirate duck. We have a clown duck. We have a graduate. Oh, the graduate's coming in hot. Let's go. Come on, come on. We got 20 seconds. Who's gonna make the move? Oh, someone's coming in fast from the back. Billy Ray? Old Cracker Barrel, you just died at the finish line. What's up with that? Billy Ray did it. Nice. All right, Billy Ray, you in the chat? I saw you earlier. You still here? Billy Ray, Billy Ray. Give him a second to reply in the chat, see if he's here. I know there's a little bit of a delay on YouTube. Oh, nice. There he is. Cool. Billy, if you are in the Discord group, if you're not, by the way, go join the Discord. That's where it's at. If you are, click on my name and send me a message in there, and I'll get you that 50K TradeDay account. Send me a message and I'll get that to you. Cool. Good stuff. That was a fun way to end a Friday. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it there. Price action is slow. Weekend volume has kicked in, and I'm going to be done. Join the Discord if you haven't already. As always, use code Krista if you're jumping into any new prop firm accounts. Today is the last day for the 40% off the TradeDay new launch accounts if you want to try out the select plan. And other than that, have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.